Tyler Hoechlin is the Superman we are reviewing in today's episode. Let's hop right into it.
I think he just does such a good job of playing a version that we really haven't seen before.
Yeah.
And making you feel different emotions too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there are so many different emotions that I wouldn't usually feel in a Superman context because of the whole family dynamic that they have. So.
And I think everyone was happy with his performance, I would say. A lot of people are saying he's the best Superman, but you'll see what we think at the end of the episode. This is the last Superman we are actually going to be reviewing in the miniseries. After this, we will be reviewing the Superman movie, and then at the end of that episode, we will be putting David Cormacet in where we think he will be on the list. But before we do that, in today's episode, we are going to be talking about Tyler Hoechlin and his interpretation of Superman on the series Superman Lois. So yes, he was never a Superman that was on the movies, but he was one on the CW show Supergirl and Superman Lois. And Emery, how do you feel about this actor, and how do you feel about his interpretation?
So when I first saw him in Supergirl, I was like, I don't really know how I feel about this. I don't really like this. But then Superman and Lois, like the whole show, we started watching that, and I absolutely love him. Like, I fell in love with how he did Superman and Clark Kent, like, so quickly. I think he does. It's different because he he's more of he's been Superman for a while now. Like, he's married to Lois. They have 2 twin boys. So it's like he's a dad now instead of just kind of like the younger Superman that we're used to seeing. So it's really cool and fun to see the different aspect of him. Like, he has a different motivation now for doing what he does because he has like a family now that is living in this world, and he doesn't want to just protect, just the general person. He also has a family that he needs to protect too. So I really like how he does Superman.
Yeah, totally. I like I said, when he was on Supergirl, I was like, this guy is not great, and then he was getting a show, and I was like, really? I was like, I don't even think he's that strong of an actor. I don't think the actress that plays Lois, I think she's like probably the worst. When they got new writers for their own separate show, it was really good, and it was really fun, and she was a good addition to Superman, and she was a lot like, I would say, the Christopher Reeves Lois Lane.
Very much, even in the way that she kind of looks.
Name,
too.
but yeah, she kind of does look like her as well. I got more of that kind of energy, which I thought was like really cool and really neat. That I don't know if I'm guessing, like, if you're doing something like this big of an IP, you have to know like what the characters, like who's portrayed them. So I'm guessing she probably studied her because I could see a lot of that, in her performance. Yeah, that she's so great, and she's great as Lois. But back to the main point is Tyler Hoechlin. He, as Superman, in my opinion, I think he does a very good job because he's really cool because we get these flashback sequences, and it's like, okay, that's the traditional Superman. But then we get these, like, what the present they call it is, like, it's the present time. And he's like super, like, he's like a dad. And that's really cool because we never really seen Superman as a dad.
Yeah.
We've seen him as, the Christopher Reeves, where he's the new guy in Metropolis. And then we saw in Man of Steel how he is, this, alien demigod. And, and then Brandon Routh, his Superman, it's like, oh, he's back in Metropolis, and it's like, it's a total different thing because it's like, he's kind of like tired. He's kind of dialing back on like being the quirky Clark Kent. There are moments where he's like, I gotta, you can tell he has to put that persona back on when he goes to the Daily Planet, or he meets his old high school buddies from Smallville High.
Yeah, because he moves back to Smallville. Like, the
yeah,
majority
that
of
was a
the
really
show
cool plot point.
Is in Smallville. Like, they're really not in the city.
In the
so
first episode,
a lot of what he has to do is people that have known him since like day one. He has to try and hide that he's Superman pretty much all over again. So
yeah, but it's really cool because like he becomes assistant coach on the boys football team, and there's like so many fun parts where like he gets punched and he like just takes it, and then he's like, oh wait, and he has to like fall backwards dramatically, or he has to like really nerdy and his back is hurting, but he's Superman, he can carry like a whole bridge. So it's like, it's so funny because we get to see like he's keeping up the persona because he wants his kids to have a normal life. And that's one thing you really see in his performance. It's like he's not, like he's not Superman just to be Superman. He's Superman now to protect his kids.
Yeah.
And I think that works great with the parents that are watching that grew up with Superman. And then if you have kids watching, it's super cool because we get to see, you could say, the next generation of Supermen, because it's so fun. It's so neat. And that's why I enjoy it. That's why I enjoy it so much. The show is so fun. It became one of my favorite Superman shows.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And it only had 4 seasons because CW wanted to cancel it. And so it was pretty crazy. I mean, of course, the show has its highs and lows like every other show, but it's really fun and really enjoyable. And I mean, it's just, there's so many cool things about him. This show just does such a great job with him. You know.
There's just such like sweet moments. It's like, so one of his sons ends up having powers, and so like there's a scene. He's the football coach, and one of his sons is getting his like heat vision, and so he just like sticks his hand under there, and he's like, just let it go. Yeah. And then he just completely like, because this kid doesn't know how to control his heat vision, so he just like his dad's taking the full like force of his heat vision, and it's just really cool. It's like you said, like he's trying to keep his kid. One, he knows exactly what his kid is going through, and so he's trying to keep him safe. He's trying to keep their cover so they can have a normal life still. But yeah, so I think he just does such a good job of playing a version that we really haven't seen before. Yeah. And making you feel different emotions too. It's like there are so many different emotions that I wouldn't usually feel in a Superman context because of the whole family dynamic that they have. So.
Yeah, I think that's so beautiful. Like the thing with a lot of Superman movies, they want Superman to feel like isolated, like he's alone. We see that with Man of Steel, like he feels so alone. And then with this, it's like he's surrounded by a family, and it's like you've always wanted Superman to get with Lois. You've always wanted him to be happy, and he's finally happy. But what are the consequences that come with that when he finally is happy? And like now he has higher stakes because he has to protect more than just his reputation as Superman, and more than just Lois. He has to protect his family. And so it's like a whole nother level, a whole nother cool thing that you get to, see his character do. And like the budget, you're probably like, oh, it's Superman. He probably like Lois and Clark, he can only do like 1 flight scene, like 3 laser scenes, and the budget's over. No, they go pretty hard on this show. Like it's awesome how much they're like, nope, keep going. Like it's like pretty crazy. Like it's almost movie-like budget. You can tell. Oh yeah, it's really good. And yeah, man, I there's some negatives between like the 2 middle seasons, but there's a lot of positives. And this show is awesome, and his performance is incredible. And it's different. It's not Christopher Reeves. No. Yeah, it's his own thing, but he takes what makes Superman and he makes his own thing, which is a lot of things we've been talking about these last 2 episodes. Was like with Brandon Routh, he was impersonating Christopher Reeves. But no, it's just super cool. And like he just did a podcast with Michael Rosenbaum, and he talked about how he wasn't scared to play the character. When you interview like people like Brandon Routh or Christopher Reeves or even David Cornsway, they're like, yeah, it was super scary, like to portray that character. And Tyler Hoechlin's like, nah, wasn't really nervous at all. Like I thought, you're like, oh, cool. And he's like, I'm not even a big Superman fan, I'm more of a Batman fan. And I think like that's crazy to say, but like,
it's such a good job though.
Yeah, yeah. The thing like him that much. Yeah, it's like that shows he's a good actor. He's like, yeah, he's not my favorite, but I'll play him right. I'll play him well. Right. And I think everyone was happy with his performance, I would say. A lot of people are saying he's the best Superman, but you'll see what we think at the end of the episode. So it's just so fun, man. It's so fun to see him because, like, he's tired. And he's an old man, and he's still Superman. And that's what's fun about it, He's got a scruffle,
Okay, the dude can grow a beard like there's no tomorrow. Yeah. Like, I feel like he shaves in the morning, and halfway through the day, he has to shave again. Because, like, he has a shadow so quick.
Yeah, the continuity error is, like, off the charts because it's like he has a beard in one scene and then he has to shave it and then it's a beard at the end of the episode, so it's like what is going on, Yeah, but that's just real life, he says, and it's like what? Yeah, Jealous.
And I like the way that he also, like, I like the Supermen who don't necessarily are super ridiculously yoked. I don't really like Superman. I mean, okay, don't get me wrong. Like, it works too. Like, that's fine. You get the whole superhuman person across. But I like it better when they are still, like, cut. Like, Tyler is very cut. But he does not super, like, bulky. Like, for instance, like Henry Cavill.
It's more believable.
Right. It's like it's more believable to slip under the radar, and it's more amazing, I guess, to be like, wow, I never would have expected somebody who's not ridiculously jacked to be able to do what he can do. And so I feel like it just adds more to the persona of Superman, I guess.
Yeah.
And Clark Kent too, I guess, at that point. Just kind of it makes it all just a little bit more special or believable, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, totally. I think it's great. I think it's really cool. And a lot of the times we talk about, on our last 2 episodes, we talked about how, like, this Superman or this Superman or this Superman, like, they weren't, like, hope. And I see hope. And he talks, and we see that because he talks to his kids about being the hope in the world. And, like, we need to be heroes. And it's like, that's Superman. And it's like, even going to the extent when I watched the Michael Rosenbaum interview with him, he talked about how he's like, yeah, Superman's really hopeful. Superman's really cool. And, like, Superman in comic books, I've said this multiple times, he plays baseball with little kids in the Sandlot. And Tyler Hoechlin was almost could have gone to the MLB. He was that good of a baseball player. And so you can tell, like, there's scenes in the last season where he's playing baseball with his work colleagues where he could easily hit a home run. But it's like
in real life, he could probably hit a home run.
As Superman and in real life, you know. But it's like, this is awesome, you know. This is fun. This is Superman. This is cool, you know. I just love it so much. It's so much fun, you know. It's so cool, and like they wanted to do 7 or 8 seasons, but they only got 4. But I feel like, you know,
they did such a good job with just gracefully finishing it.
But it's like leave like. I think Jerry Seinfeld said this. He said, leave or end the show when people want more. You know?
Had another season, but I love what they did with the last. Like, you finish it to where it's not like a cliffhanger where you're waiting your whole life to know what's happening next.
Yeah.
But it's also like, you kind of know what happens to them in the end, but you also wish that you were like, there was more so that you could watch them grow.
Yeah.
Into like adults and things like that.
Agreed,
like
man.
I
agree. Yeah, man, it's just so fun. It's so cool. I love it. That's why I love the show so much, because like they justified Superman, you know, and they made him Superman, and they ended the character super beautifully. And I went to, you know, school the next day, and I was like, dude, I think I cried at the end of Superman Lois. And my buddy's like, seriously? I was like, dude, you gotta watch it. It's so good. And a lot of people were like, dude, this is beautiful. This is amazing. I want more. But going back to the, you know, Jerry Seinfeld reference, it's like, it's good, you know, and just leave it as it is. And so, yeah, I loved it so much. I thought it was great. I thought his sons were great as well in the show.
I love those.
They were great. Yes, they got a recasting halfway in.
But it, like, you have a love for both of the guys that play one of the so it's Jonathan that gets recast. So you have a love for what the first 2 seasons is with one kid, and then the last 2 seasons are with another. But you still love both of them. They're in their different ways, and they both play the character a little bit differently, but they both do it
pretty similar,
really good.
Yeah, different and similar at the same time.
Yeah, it's like they didn't completely change the character, but they, you know, they're their own person, so they do things a little bit differently.
Yeah.
But I like those. I absolutely love Jonathan and Jordan. They're like one of my favorite parts of the show. I mean, yeah, they're teenagers, and so they do stupid stuff, but I mean, just the relationship that they have with each other. So they're twins, so that's really fun. And just like Jordan is the one who has powers at the beginning of the show, and Jonathan doesn't. So Jordan's like trying to figure all this out, and then Jonathan is really the one who kind of helps him like calm down.
We love, you know, the twins so much that we for a Christmas gift, we got a cameo from one of them.
We did,
and we were freaking out because we love the boys. You know, they're, you know, we're teenagers, they're teenagers, they're going through life, but they have superpowers, and it's like we're going through life, we don't have superpowers, but it was really cool, and we loved it so much. Let's share it with you guys. All right, cut to the clip.
Hello, Emery, Davey, and Lexi. Your mom and dad wanted me to say hi to you guys. I want to say thank you for being such big fans of the show. I hope you had so many great memories watching it while growing up. I know I had a lot of great memories making it while growing up. And I really also hope that you take away from Jordan's arc and how much he changed and how much he grew up on the show, that if he can grow up and become a superhero, that you guys can absolutely grow up and be anything you want to be. No matter who you are, no matter what circumstances you find yourself under, there's always room for change and growth and bravery. So I hope that y'all enjoyed all the crazy action sequences along the way and all the drama, and I really hope that whatever this whole team does next, y'all will enjoy as well. So thank you guys again, and Emery, Davey, and Lexi, stay good out there. Stay super. And
Yeah, we were freaking out.
Yeah, it's such a cool experience, so cool. And, like, it shows their hearts making the show.
Yeah.
And why the show is so good is because they were enjoying it themselves. I think why the show did so well was because, you know, I'll even say, like, our parents loved Lois and Clark because, or Superman and Lois, like, you know, I don't want to confuse both of the shows, but they loved Superman and Lois in this show because they could relate with raising teenagers, and we could relate with the teenage boys because they're trying to figure out life. We're trying to figure out life, you know? So it's like, it was kind of like two different shows at the same time becoming one, you know? And, like, when it's the boys, the teenage boys, Jonathan and Jordan, it was kind of like a Smallville reboot at some time.
Yeah, it did feel like that,
oh, that's kind of cool, you know? So I thought that was really neat. But man, dude, like, even going, like, at the very end of the show, they get Lex Luthor. They finally are able to, like, the showrunner's like, all right, we finally got Lex. They nail Lex. Lex is perfect. His fight scenes are insane.
Oh my goodness,
like,
yeah.
There's so many cool parts where, like, we see Lex, we see how manipulative he is, we see that he can go toe-to-toe with Superman when Superman has no powers, and it's like, this is Lex. Like, Lex will do whatever it takes to destroy Superman, and it's so cool. It's so cool, you know? It's super cool, and I love it so much, you know? And like we said, every Superman needs to have a love interest, and his love interest in the show, of course, from the title, it's Superman Lois, so it was Lois Lane. Emery, how do you feel Lois Lane did in this show? We kind of hinted at it in the beginning.
Yeah. Like I said before, like, I didn't like her in other things, but then when we watched the show, she really redeemed herself. There are moments where she was kind of a wee bit whiny, but I mean, all in all, like, she was such a good, like, shoulder for Clark. Like, you could definitely tell that, like they've said, the actors have said that they love each other, like, that she said, if he's Batman, I'll be Catwoman, like, I want to work with him again. But yeah, and so, like, that just kind of bleeds into the actual, like, filming. Like, you could just tell that they really do, like, have a good friendship, because the way that they're just such a unit, like how a marriage should be, like, they communicate, and when they're mad at each other or they have something going on, they talk about it. It's like, they are just, they really are united. Like, I think they did a really good job.
And, like, they don't have a lot of, you know, like, of course they have chemistry, but it's not like a lot of that, like, you know, like, awkward Superman and Lois, like, looking at each other, then looking away. It's more of kind of like how your parents are always together. It's like that's just how they are, you know? They love each other. It's like, you see that through their actions. It's like they nailed it when it came to, like, we're married. We've been married for, let's say, 25 years. You know, it's just like, that is super fun. Yeah. And they executed it perfect. It's like, you know, you'll see your parents, you know, like, hug or, you know, share love, you know, stuff like that. And they do that in the show. Like, they just hug each other. And it's not this, like, over dramatic, you know, thing. It's just like a simple thing. And then they'll, like, sit down and have conversations. And it's like, it truly shows, like, how a marriage should work. Yeah. You know, just communicating, and then, like, what are the consequences if you don't communicate? And it's like, of course, it's the extreme where it's like a supervillain's release, you know? But it's like, every, like, season, every episode kind of goes through, like, how to deal with this as a teenager and how to deal with this as an adult. And it's like, that's so cool, you know? Yeah. But Emery, where would you place Tyler Hoechlin in our list of Supermen?
I know, but I don't want to say it. Like, everybody's already harping on me for my other stuff and Star Superman stuff. I don't know.
Just do it.
We can move them, so I can change my mind later, okay? But I'm really...
This is the second to last episode of the series, so...
Yeah, but I have one more time. I have one more time.
The Superman review is your last time.
Yeah. I'm gonna move Christopher Reeve down to second place.
What?
And I'm gonna put Tyler first. Because I love Tyler.
You're joking, right?
No.
You're gonna put him in first place?
Yes, I love Tyler. I did not have a connection like I did with that show and that character. Like I did,
Christopher Reeve started it all.
I know he did. But I would think that hopefully he'd be like, you know what? Somebody took what I had started and made something new and different, and maybe they would have done it better. It's my opinion. It doesn't have to be your opinion. Okay, do not come at me. It is my opinion. I'm not saying it has to be yours.
Wow, yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna... On my list, I'm putting Tyler Hoechlin in second place. That's rightful. That's good. Dude, that's crazy. Christopher Reeve's he started the whole thing, and you're just like, kick him out.
That is not what I'm saying. I'm putting him in second place. It's not like I'm dropping him down to 7th. I'm saying I am appreciative of what he started. But I think that Tyler just did a little bit more, a little bit different.
I think this is something I don't know. That's probably the biggest argument on the show. Dude, we've argued before about where Superman's land, but I don't know, dude.
Lexi's got my back. We'll
Our
be fine.
camera lady?
Yeah, she's got my back. We'll be fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Dude, this is gonna be awkward at family dinner bringing this up, but
We'll be fine.
okay.
We'll be fine.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
I think you'd be surprised at how many people agree with me.
Really?
But okay.
You think so?
I don't know. Not on the internet. The internet
Well,
might chew me out, but in our family, maybe.
We'll find out in the comments.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
That's your nightmare is the comment section.
I hate
dude.
the comment section.
They roast the crap out of you, bro. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode. Our next episode of the series will be the Superman review that will be starring David Cornsweet. And at the end of that episode, we will rank him in all 7 actors, and we will add another spot. So it'll be 8 actors we're reviewing. Because a lot of you guys have been asking, how are we going to do that? And it's we're going to add another column, another section, so don't worry. But we'll be reviewing the movie, and at the end, we'll be reviewing the actor and his performance. So that will be the end. We have the thumbnail ready. It's right here. Go check it out when it comes out. We appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for your love and support and your hate comments. We love it all. Emery, not as much. But thank you guys so much for joining the episode. You want to say anything else? All right, awesome. See you guys. Peace. God bless.